What's going on YouTube? Matt from GarageMC here. Yeah, this is not photoshopped. This is the new haul, obviously minus the 465 build, this frame and engine, and this frame and engine, and the budget build 400EX. Let me actually pull the budget build out of the lineup here because I'm not ready to show you guys everything with that yet. But yeah, let me pull that out and then we will get into each individual one of these machines. If you didn't notice, there's also a three-wheeler over there that just came. So let me pull the budget build out and we'll go over all these. Stay tuned. Definitely gonna need some wings for today's video, guys. Woo! I'm gonna need more than wings. I'm gonna need one of them like 2-rotor military helicopters. Lift like 30,000 pounds. I wish I had one about an hour ago, or should I say 2.5 hours ago, moving all this shit out here. All right, so let's start with the trike. This is an 82 Honda 200E. Story I got on it, and it's kind of believable because this thing's actually really clean, guys. It needs a carburetor. The carburetor that was on it got taken off and misplaced or something, but I already ordered one last night. So it's an 82. It's like really clean. It's got all its parts. It's all original other than the tires, I believe. Not quite sure. It's a pull start. It's a 200E, like I said. All the stickers are still on it. Pretty much just going to get this thing running and sell it. The backstory on this was that there was two of them, identical. They were at a baseball field and they were only really used for the tow hitch that comes on these things factory to drag and rake the like the field and stuff. I'm not a baseball fan. You know, first, second, third base, whatever the shit they run on. That's what it was used for, just to rake the dirt or sand, whatever it is there. All right, so next project, let's go with this one here. We're gonna call this one See No Evil because it's got no headlights, but I do have a set. This quad, not quite sure what I want to do yet with it. This is the gas tank that a subscriber sent me. I just put it on there just to line the plastics out so you guys could see. But let's pull the seat off of this thing, or what's left of the seat, should I say. Somebody cut the grab bar off of it, no big deal. You guys know I got subframes here. It's got aftermarket rear wheels, OEM fronts. The tires in the front don't match. The rims match, but the tires don't. That one is not holding air at all. It's got some weird push bar, Australian kangaroo smashing bumper on it. This quad might just become a parts quad, guys. I mean, all the clutch bolts are out of the clutch cover. Not that that's a big deal, but obviously somebody's been in it. The oil lines aren't hooked up. There's no air box. It's missing a battery tray. Obviously the battery. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this. I know when you buy Nerf bars, you know, it's a cool mod. This is the Nerf Bar Mod. There's only one on there, so that's going to have to go. Not too sure about what I want to do with this one yet. If anything, if we do something with this, it will be the last one that we get to. But anyway, yeah, there's the budget build over there, covered up. So you guys know, like, I mean, this is what we're dealing with here. Boom, boop, 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 boom, 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 boom. That frame just came yesterday too. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do about that in a minute. All right, next quad. We will call this one school bus because it's like a freaking school bus yellow. It's not the same yellow as that. That's like more vibrant. Somebody painted these front fenders. I got a special place for those. It's called a trash can. Let me pull this stuff off of this one here. Take a look at what we got going on here. It has a uni filter. I believe you pronounce it uni. Some people say uni, whatever. The subframe on this one is slightly, by slightly I mean a whole fucking lot, tweaked that way. All the bearings in it feel tight. Stock axle. It does have DWT bead locks in the rear. OEM fronts. The tires are, you know, whatever. It does have an FMF power bomb on it, so me and this quad getting together must be fate, because for the budget build over here, you know, I have the Titanium 4 FMF silencer, so that exhaust will go to the budget build, keeping it budget friendly. It still has the factory heel guards. What else? It's got a DG front bumper. It's got some aftermarket bars. It looks like a fairly new Pro Taper clutch lever. Other than that, it seems stock. What any of these are built to, that one or this one, whether it's stock, 416, 426, 440, who knows? But that's that one. So let's get over to the other one right now. All right, so the last one I'm going to show you as far as machines, this is the fourth one that came yesterday. This is I don't know what year it is. I didn't run the VINs or anything, but the bumper's bent in the front and the handlebars are pretty bent as well. They're pushed back, so obviously somebody hit something or rolled it or whatever. But this one, if you guys want to stay and watch the whole video, I am going to get this thing running and together in this video that you're watching now, and we're going to get this one ready to sell. So let me pull all this shit off of here. I think something's missing. I can't really put my finger on it, but yeah, I think there's supposed to be something here. Not, you know, I'm not an expert, guys, but I think this is a dirt bike because it has two wheels. Not sure. Anyway, yeah, I have the parts to fix this. Anyway, this quad, it has A-arm skid plates. It has a full skid plate. It's missing this swing arm skid plate, but there's actually, okay, never mind. I was going to say there's a nice one on this one, but yeah, doesn't look too nice. Oh wait, no, this one has a decent one on it. This one has a decent skid plate on the rear, so we'll take that off and put it on there. We're also going to steal this DG front bumper, swap it onto this one. This quad we're going to call peg leg, because it has one piece of a peg left on it. You know, I have foot pegs here, so, but yeah, so we got foot peg, school bus, see no evil, and threesome. We'll call that one threesome. Yeah, I like that word. Anyway, this quad smokes. It actually still starts. It's ice cold right now. Let's see what we got here. Keys on. Let's see here. It's got a mean valve tick to it, but that's okay. Like I said, we're gonna get this quad. We're gonna ride this quad in this video, guys. So do your boy a favor. Stay tuned to watch the whole video. As you guys know, that it hurts my analytics if somebody watches a little bit and then cuts off. If you guys could, I'd appreciate it. But got a little smoky here. Yeah, definitely start your quad and rev the hell out of it while it's ice cold. No, don't do that. But I mean, I don't think we're damaging anything on this, guys. All the parts are here. It's got a Lex slip-on. Actually, never even had one of those. They're not that bad. They're not that bad, actually, and they're pretty affordable, too, guys. I believe you can get those from Rocky Mountain ATV, or you can get some new old stock shit from eBay that is in a storage unit somewhere that somebody bought 7,000 of them for $2 each. Choice is yours. Let's see, what else can we do here? Like I said, everything's on this quad. I think one of these has an aftermarket CDI. Which one is it? It's this one here. Get this shit off of here. Yeah, this one has an aftermarket CDI, and somebody took this plate, which actually is a pretty good idea. Other than, you know, zip tying it to the frame. I would have mounted it somewhere, but that's just me. This one has a. This is See No Evil here. If I can get the damn CDI out. Definitely looks like an eBay $15 CDI. Not sure. AMRracing.com, Revbox Stage 2. We'll give it a shot. Why not? But anyway, let's get into, let me get this in the garage. We'll get it up on a stand. We'll get it on all 4 wheels, and then we will tear into it. And I believe it's just the valve seals that it needs. And obviously to be, the valves need to be adjusted. There's a mean tick in there. So let's get set up and we'll get right into it. Stick around. Oh shit, guys, before I forget, I said I would tell you what the deal is with this other frame I got. I know you're like, Matt, what the hell are you doing with another friggin' frame? What is wrong with you? Well, here's what's wrong with me, guys. 1, I'm stupid. 2, no, I'm just kidding. Well, maybe sometimes. I guess we all can be sometimes, all right? But if you hear a little piece of paper flipping around in the background, you know the 465 that we're building, I'm going to have so much money in this quad, it's like ridiculous. There's no way I could ever sell it because I'm just not going to get what I'm not even going to get what I have into it for it. I know we sold the 426 for a profit. I think that was like a record for a 400EX sale. But I mean, you know, there was a lot of value with that quad. There's obviously going to be a lot of value in this one too. You know, I am open to selling it when it's done. You know, it's a good way to buy it too. You get to see every little thing that happens with it. But this frame, this is a 2005 frame, and that piece of paper, certificate of title. What is that? I've never even seen one of these. Holy shit, this is Jersey, guys. You're lucky if you find a quad that hasn't been stolen 15 times. But you know, just the way it is. But anyway, let's get old Peg Leg over there into the garage and start getting this thing into a rider. We have old Peggy Leggy here in the garage. I went over it again, double checked everything I needed. So obviously we're going to need an axle carrier. I noticed that the rear brake caliper does not have a bracket on it. We're missing the bracket that goes on the swing arm that the rear caliper bolts to. So I guess it's a rear caliper bracket. Other things I've noticed that we need, the steering stem is bent. Pretty bad, actually. You guys can see here. You'll be able to see it probably better when I take the tank off, but yeah, you can see it's coming up on this angle here. You see how bent back that is there. So, and obviously the bumper needs to be changed. We took the fly racing grips off of the 426 and put those ODIs on for Darren. I have those still because they're in really nice shape. What else have we got going on here? Let's see. Oh, anyway, so got an axle out, got our rear caliper, sprocket, the hubs. There's the other hub right there. Brand new axle carrier. There's those fly racing grips. The axle nut, the locking nut that came with it, it's a little messed up. You can see that there. That's not going to thread. I could probably, you know, get it to thread again, but I mean, this is a pretty, you know, important part on the quad here, so I'm not going to really mess with it at this point. It's just trash. I do have the nut and locking nut that was originally on the 426 before I put the mod quad one on there. We're still missing the threaded piece though, so we'll get to that in a second. Any gaskets I'm going to need, whole gasket kit. There's front and rear new brake pads. Got a steering stem here. We got our foot pegs. A sticker kit for when it's done. That's a Tusk axle. That's not going on this quad. Nor is the Lone Star, I believe it's called an Excalibur. That's going on the 465. Bought that used. If you guys are wondering how to get parts like these and quads like these, even in bulk like I just did, I'm going to give you the information on that. So I spoke to my friend that parts out 400EXs and sells quads all year long. That's all he does for a job. Alec, you guys met him in a previous video that I made entitled How I Buy Affordable Parts for Sport Quads, or it was entitled something like that. You guys can look through my videos and check it out, but I worked out a 5% discount promotional code with him for my viewers. If you guys, I'm going to give you his information here at the bottom of the screen. His information is also in the other video as well. 5% off if you guys mentioned that you seen in the video, all this stuff and where to buy it from if you're interested in anything. So I got to steal a couple parts off of See No Evil, since that's probably just going to be a part squad, guys. It's, you know, it's not super bad, but it's missing a lot of stuff, and you know, these are just the things you want to do. You have to do if you know, you want to keep what I'm doing in this video affordable to where you could turn a profit at the end. So I'm going to steal probably the axle nut, the rear brake caliper bracket, and I think we're missing a pinch bolt too. We're missing one. I have stainless steel ones, but I mean, I'm not going to put stuff like that on this quad. We're just going to get it into a runner and looking good. Plan for this. We're going to put the rear on it. We're going to get it riding, and then I'm just going to throw the seat on it and make sure we have all our gears and everything else is kosher or copacetic or whatever word you want to use before we go tearing the head off and decarboning it and putting new valve seals and stuff. If the transmission's good, then we'll go further with that. If it's not good, you know, I think I know where to find another engine or 10. So let me steal the parts that I'm going to need off of See No Evil, and let's dig into getting this thing into a rider real quick. All right, guys, we got the parts that I need off of old See No Evil here. I just said fuck it. I just took the whole axle out of this one too. We'll just put that one to the side. It's real simple. Take the stuff off, guys. You got your 4 pinch bolts. You have a circlip that holds the axle carrier in. This axle carrier that was on See No Evil is fairly new, so I put my brand new one back in the box for something else. We also need the bracket that mounts to the caliper itself, that bolts to the rear bracket, which is this piece here. I'm going to clean all these parts up, and then we'll start slapping this thing together and take it for a little rip. All the parts cleaned up, bracket. If you guys are doing anything as far as like a swapping the carrier or anything on your quad, these pinch bolts that go in here, make sure you have the rubber gasket that goes in here that helps keep dirt out of everything. Also, what keeps dirt out is at the front of the swing arm, between where the pivot bolt is and the engine, there's 2 rubber little boots that go in there, or grommets. Make sure you have that stuff in there, because these swing arms are hollow and there is a hole in here that will get dirt and let dirt in there and get everything built up. The pinch bolts, make sure you have your washers on all 4. Also, use anti-seize. If you're going to do a carrier swap, clean out the inside of where the carrier goes, like thoroughly. Clean it out very thoroughly and anti-seize it. I anti-seize the hell out of it. Put more than you need, whatever. If it doesn't need it, it's going to push it out, obviously. Wipe it off. The shit's cheap, and it's a cheap insurance for this thing. Also, where this bracket goes on the swing arm, there's a bolt in here. It's like a cam style. This is like when you turn your carrier, it slides up and down like this. If you don't have it, you're going to have a mean rattle in the back of this. That goes on this little stud that's hanging out the side. These studs you can also unscrew and take out. But like I said before, anytime you put anything metal into anything aluminum, always make sure you anti-seize. This also has a grease zerk fitting. Make sure it's packed. Same thing. Use more than you need. It's no big deal. It's going to push out the excess, but very, very crucial that you do stuff like this, guys. Grease everything, anti-seize everything. Loctite if need be. Depending on what temperature the parts that you're putting Loctite onto. Like regular red Loctites for things that are more permanent, blue Loctites for something that might be taken apart again eventually. And then there's red Loctite 272. Regular red Loctite is good up to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Loctite red 272 is good up to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. So 272 would be like something you would use like if you change your basket, and then where you grind the rivets out, you put the new bolts in to for the gear and the plate on the back of your stock clutch basket to the billet one, because it's a friction. There's a lot of friction there. It's high temperature. But that's for another video one of these days. Once you slide your axle carrier in there, the next thing to go on is the bracket to where the rear caliper bolts to. Like I said, make sure you got this little cam style sleeve on the pin that goes on the swing arm and this goes on like this, you'll notice these are sticking out more on one side. Obviously you can't, I mean, if you put it on like this, the caliper would be at the bottom of the quad. I know a lot of people say you can only put things on one way, but believe me, if you're persistent enough, you could probably get things on more than one way. But just make sure that goes on in the correct direction, like so. Make sure we are all the way through. Where's my mallet? You guys are going to hammer on anything, these are a good thing to buy. They're like 20 bucks at Home Depot. This is the East Wing. It's got more solid rubber, and then it's got a softer, or either way. So this is a DFH, obviously not a BFH, whatever that stands for. Couldn't tell you. Make sure you're all the way in. And circ clip installing tool. This opens it, flip it over. There we go. It closes it. In this case, we're going to be opening it. There we go. This also, I cleaned. It's a good idea. You're going to have stuff off the quad. Clean the shit. Don't just put it back on all caked with dirt and stuff. It only takes a second, guys, to make stuff clean, and it goes back together way easier when you have everything nice and clean and ready to accept the parts. Alright, so we're together there. The next thing that is going to go in, let's go ahead and slide our axle in from the left side of the quad in. So you should already have your sprocket hub and sprocket on there. I mean, if you don't, I mean, you could come from the other side on a Honda, but you know, that's the way I like to do things. So go ahead over here and get this started if I can even get in here. I'm running out of room, guys. Running out of room. All right. Obviously that just picked up a bunch of dirt sliding through. It's okay. I did wire wheel this axle off before I put it on back on the quad. So the next thing to go on here is our brake rotor on the hub. I did not clean this part off yet. This will get cleaned when we power wash. I just wanted to get all the stuff that you really can't get to cleaned, obviously. But there are two sides to this. This is the side that the axle nut goes against. The other side has a little collar on the inside. That's what slides into the grease seal of the axle carrier. Make sure you anti-seize your splines. But this just goes on. I like to try and line it up. As you can see, there's like 4 bolts in this. I like to try and line it up with the 4 bolts that are on the sprocket as well. I mean, it's not crucial, but I just like everything to line up from left to right of the axle. I think it just, you know, it's little stuff like that that sets apart something that somebody actually gave a shit about as opposed to something else. Not saying that people that don't do that don't care about their stuff, but that's just what I do. So just little shit like that, guys. All right, so now that the locking nut is up against the brake rotor hub, make sure we're on there good. Go ahead and spin this towards the hub. Next, after the hub is on there and we got the nut on there, there's also a ring that goes into the little groove that is on the axle. This little groove right here. Make sure the groove is clean. Make sure there's no obstructions or dirt or anything in there. This is what the little, I think it's a locking ring. This is what goes on. Obviously, you'll need your hub off the, you know, where the wheel bolts onto off the quad to get this on the axle. But just slide this in place. Bang, there it is. So now we can start spinning the axle nut towards the ring we just installed. It goes inside the end of the nut there. That's what holds it onto the axle. Won't let it pop off because there's no room for it to expand to come off while it's in there. So go ahead and get it hand tight. And then the locking nut, after you get it to the tightness you want, I mean, tighten it, make sure you're free spinning, make sure there's no drag or like tension on it too much. But once the quad is on the ground, don't tighten this nut now. Wait till you have it on the ground and the quad's on wheels. Makes it way easier to do this. Otherwise, you'd be sitting here trying to hold back and fight it at the same time. It's a pain in the ass. Trust me. By hand. So that's good enough right now. Do not, this is the locking nut. So once you get this to where you want, so it won't back up the threads and become loose, this goes up against this. You tighten them together and it won't back out on you. Let's get to the next part. Next thing I'm going to put on here, this quad had a rear brake caliper on here already, but there was no bracket to bolt it to the bracket that goes on the swing arm here, this one. So, bam! You know, your boy Matt's already got one in stock, on the shelf, ready to go. So, this is pretty straightforward, guys. 12mm bolts, 2 that go through the bracket and then into this bracket here that's on the caliper that was missing from the other one. Just go ahead and get both of them started. This also has new pads in it already. So this is going to be a nice solid quad for whoever decides to purchase it. Like I said, I'm going to have to put valve seals in it, but we are going to ride this quad in this video, as I promised. So, Banjo Bolt, make sure you have your washer at the bottom of the line and then one between the bolt and the top of the line. Don't put this on without it, because you're going to know that it's not there. Trust me. You're going to know. And if you don't know, you're going to find out when you don't want to find out. Like when you're on a damn trail and all your brake fluid's leaked out slowly and your buddy on his little KTM 125 or whatever falls and you come ripping around the bend and you're like, oh shit, and then you go to slam on your brakes and guess what? Guess where they're at? Not there. They're just not there. Next thing, let's get some tires on this thing, huh? Alright guys, I slapped the wheels from the yellow one on here. These are Douglas DWT bead locks. It's also got DWT front wheels on it. These tires are pretty decent. I went ahead and threw the chain on there. I'm sure you guys know how to put a damn chain on a quad. And I also took a old peg leg off. Put a set of pegs that I had laying around. Didn't take them off one of the other quads. I got like 6 sets of these things sitting here, guys. Due to all the Nerf bars. I had an extra, or no, I didn't have one. It was already on there. K-Saver. So, you know, always run a K-Saver, guys. Don't run out in the woods raw dog with no K-Saver. But I'm going to slap the back plastics on here, and let's make sure we have all the gears on this thing. And then in the next video, as long as the transmission's good on this thing, which I'm pretty sure it is, but you know, we'll get to the valve seals and all that good stuff. If you guys actually want to see a video on putting the valve seals in here and see the difference from how it's smoking now to after, drop it in the comment section. It also helps the video and the channel out if you guys comment. Also, if you guys want to see, I showed you how to restore plastics. If you want to see some of these have some cracks in them. I'm not a fan of the whole zip tie method. Yes, it works. There's nothing wrong with that. But I also have a plastic welder, so maybe we'll see if we can get a little method of that going on. Let me fire this thing up and I'll set you guys up and we'll see if we got all our gears. Alright guys, I'm going to have to change the name of this quad now from Peg Leg to Old Smoky. Let's see if we got all our gears here. Choke on. It's a green light. We have all our gears. All right, guys, so like I said, we have all 5 gears. Valves definitely need to be adjusted, which we're going to be in there anyway. So this was just a quick flip, guys. If you guys actually want to see the video, I'm going to tear the head off. We're going to decarb and everything. New valve seals, probably do springs, retainers, probably just put new valves in it too while I'm in there. Let me know if you guys want to see that down in the comments section. I mean, it's not like we don't have other 400EXs to work on. Like, you're not going to see that get done. But if you guys want to see this particular quad get all dressed up the rest of the way and all in perfect running condition for sale, put it down in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks for joining me in the garage. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!